Concerns are rising around air quality in the current climate. What measures can we take to ensure a safer return to schools, childcare centres, workplaces, and social settings, such as cafes and restaurants? Let's all go back to school and talk basics. What are our options? There are four main factors which need to be addressed when looking at indoor air quality, comfort, and its direct impact on our health and well-being. Number 1, oxygen and fresh air. Number 2, purification and filtration. Number 3, temperature control. Number 4, airflow control. This addresses contaminants spread to others, such as COVID-19 and other airborne viruses and illnesses. Let's take a closer look. Number 1, oxygen. Are you aware that many classrooms develop unsafe levels of CO2, carbon dioxide, within 30 minutes if they do not have adequate ventilation? Are you aware that feelings of fatigue and being tired in the middle of the day could be due to low levels of oxygen around you? Are you aware that high CO2 concentrates will also make you feel tired, nauseous, and give you headaches? Number 2, purification and filtration. There are many different grades of purification and filtration, each having varying filtration and purification capabilities. Let's look at the main two. Pleated and HEPA filters. These focus on particular matter. They help control bacteria, viruses, aerosols, dust mites, allergens, pollens, mold spores, smoke, road pollution, and much more. Activated carbon filters. These focus on gases and chemicals. They aid in the control and eradication of chemical pollutants, volatile organic compounds, VOCs, smoke, road pollutants, and many others. Number 3, temperature control. Temperature control levels must also be considered as an important factor when looking at air quality. This applies especially in winter, as people do not tend to turn on ventilation systems when it is going to produce cold air into the living space when you are trying to heat the property. Number 4, airflow design. Airflow control and design is a new strategy that is much more critical as a result of the COVID-19 world we now live in and the subsequent need for ensuring safe, clean environments. It is crucial that airflow design be considered in our current climate and factored into our safety plans, as efforts to stop contamination in schools, restaurants, office spaces, and childcare centres to help control the spread of COVID-19 and other viruses and airborne illnesses, which we see spread through commercial settings and workplaces each year. Let's look at the basics around how airborne illnesses spread. It is common knowledge that when an ill person coughs or sneezes near you, it is highly likely that you will catch what they have. If this scenario were to take place in front of a fan or air conditioning unit or any other recirculating system, then the likelihood is that they will spread their illness to everyone in that room if it can't be diluted or removed. In the context of a classroom, with the air conditioning portable fans or ceiling fans on, this scenario will result in the contamination of the entire room. Research shows that air entering through open windows and doors, although may still contaminate the room, major dilution will see a substantial drop in risk. However, the implicit problem with this is that any air contaminants outside will then find their way indoors and contaminate the room. While such contaminants may not be as dangerous as COVID-19, nevertheless, these contaminants may still impact negatively on one's health. What can we do? We know that high-quality purifiers and filtered air treatment systems aid in clearing all pollutants. Let's take a closer look at these options. Number 1, high-quality air purification. In this case, a Nova Airs range. Highest level of purification available. No temperature control. No fresh air. Available inducted and portable forms. Let's look at the positives. Incredibly high purification is great for homes, hospitals, where there is a negative pressure, and spaces with minimal people gathering with the presence of a vast array of contaminants which aren't highly contagious viruses. In regard to the positioning of portable purification systems, the design unfortunately doesn't quite meet all intentions. It is my belief that any low-level portable units are really only a fan until the air has the opportunity to flow through the system, as per the diagram. If you were the first person in front of the purification system, and you coughed or sneezed before the air has had a chance to return through the system, in most populated environments, such as schools and restaurants, the contaminants in the air have already circulated around many more people before re-entering the purification system. This creates a very high level of contamination that could spread. A ducted system, however, has the ability to extract all contaminants from a room in a controlled manner, from a height, which is significantly more optimal and subsequently a far superior option. The only issue is that purification systems require that windows and doors at times be left open to allow for the replenishment of oxygen or fresh air. This then leads to the issue of trying to control both the room temperature and any contaminants entering the room from outside. Number 2. High-quality air treatment, or HRV, based on Stiebel-Eltron's range. In my belief, COVID-19 contamination is controlled better than everything else this way, as filtered fresh air and removal of contamination will have the best control factor. It removes other airborne viruses. It replenishes oxygen levels all day, every day, removing CO2 and other harmful pollutants. Aids in the resolution of moisture and condensation issues as the system runs 24/7. Controls temperature to a certain degree through the inbuilt heat exchange design. Helps with property security during holiday periods, as the property's buildings can be locked up, knowing that we have fresh, controlled, filtered air running through the building to stop moisture and mold issues arising. Ensures good air quality is maintained within the room without having to open windows and doors or worry about remembering to turn anything on or off, and the benefit from enjoying fresh, oxygenated, filtered air to breathe. How can we meet our needs? With Stiebel-Eltron's range of treatment options, or HRV systems, heat recovery ventilation, you have a package of features that resolve many of these issues. With Inova Air purification systems, you also have a package of features that also resolve many of these issues, yet in a different way. Let's have a look at these two packages side by side, and how their features can address commercial ventilation issues. Purification and filtration. Each of these systems work in different ways. For example, the Inova Air purification system has a superior HEPA filtration as well as carbon filtration options. These are required in order to clean the circulating air to a very high degree to ensure efficiency. The Stiebel-Eltron system also features a high-quality filter. However, it doesn't need to work as hard, as it simply extracts the indoor pollutants out of the living and working spaces and replaces this with fresh, filtered, oxygenated, temperature-balanced air for you to breathe. Let's look at removal of contaminants, replacement of oxygen, and temperature control. Inovair's system relies on the highest grade of filters available, as it is a circulation airflow system, and does not bring fresh air into the internal space. It also has no temperature control, therefore, temperature control would be required, that is, air conditioning units or heaters. This normally runs on a neutral pressure setup. Stiebel-Eltron's system relies on a replacement of air system. In other words, all the air that is within the indoor environment would be replaced more than 5 to 10 times a day by fresh external filtered air through the heat exchange and controlled at a balanced temperature, resolving air pollutants that you do not want inside your living and workspace. You may require an incredibly small amount of heating and cooling, and in doing so, the initial cost of the air conditioning system could be reduced by 50 to 75%, as you would only require a much smaller air conditioning system. This is due to the fact that the HRV air treatment system is doing most of the work for you, in turn saving on maintenance and power bills. This all sounds great, yet let's get down to the dollars and cents. Let's look at energy efficiency and these costs. Both systems use minimal power per year and are designed to run 24/7 throughout the year. The appropriate outlay for the power consumption is $50 to $400 per annum. Let's look at the maintenance of the systems and these costs. Inova Air has an inner filter which needs to be changed every couple of months. HEPA filters and carbon filters require changing every 3 to 5 years approximately. I've based this on 3 years in a commercial setting. Cost: $1,300 approximately per annum for one machine, inclusive of maintenance visits and installation. $7,000 approximately per annum for 10 machines, inclusive of maintenance visits and installation. Stiebel Eltron has dual filters to be changed every 6 months, approximately. Cost: $600 approximately per annum for one machine, inclusive of maintenance visits and installation. $2,000 approximately per annum for 10 machines, inclusive of maintenance visits and installation. Let's look at system cost and options. There will always be options and a balance of budgets versus rewards, which we need to take into account. So here are some ballpark costs. Premium systems for large spaces. Stiebel Eltron ducted with or without CO2 sensors, approximate cost $13,000 per system. Innovair ducted system with no CO2 sensor, approximate cost $13,000 per system. Premium systems for smaller spaces. Stiebel Eltron ducted system with or without CO2 sensors, approximately $9,000 per system. Innovair ducted system with no CO2 sensors, approximate cost $9,000 per system. Premium design system option, design being the main importance. Depending on how much airflow you require within an area, one system may be used to service 2, 3, or 4 rooms. For example, in a domestic installation, one machine supplies a whole house. This way, these costs can be shared between 2 rooms, sometimes even 3 or 4 rooms, depending on to what extent of control and air you require. This sometimes can add a balance to cost versus reward. Superior systems, ceiling fixed, no ductwork. Removing the ductwork yet maintaining high installation, ceiling systems still prove to be far more effective than low-level portable systems, is my belief. This is due to the overriding fact that air which is moving at a greater height is far more effective and less turbulent with and contamination. Innovair do not have this style of systems, although special orders are available. Stiebel Eltron has non-ducted, fixed systems that range from $6,000 to $10,000 per system per space. Why do we have a relationship with Innovair and Stiebel Eltron? I have researched looking for some of the best companies around the world, and then established which of these would service the Australian marketplace with no constraints, service being a critical factor. It is my opinion that many off-the-shelf systems will, to a degree, improve air quality, but not to the level which we currently require and/or feel safe using due to the current COVID-19 concerns around air contamination. Stiebel Eltron's decentralized systems and Innovair's portable purification systems are held in high regard within the world of air purification and air treatment, and still have their places in the market. Yet with COVID-19 concerns around air quality and the spread of contagions, I believe the other far superior options are available for commercial spaces. The reason Air We Care has teamed up with these companies for air treatment. Innovair, being Australian-made with European quality motors, is the producer of some of the highest quality products and are a great company to work with. I have great faith in their range of products. Stiebel Eltron is one of the world's best systems originating and made in Germany. They have been in Australia for more than 25 years. They have always produced high-quality products and provided unquestionable service with reliable stock requirements, which always let every other brand down. There is a great deal of research around what is best and why, based on current and ongoing COVID-19 issues. The poor air quality that we have seen in many buildings for years is now being brought to light, and we are beginning to do something about it. However, I hope that instead of a band-aid remedy focusing on just one of the many aspects of poor air quality, we can look at all of the issues relating to poor air quality, as society is facing many day-to-day issues in relation to our health due to everyday pollutants, not just COVID-19. When doing your research, please take note of the little things. For example, in a well-published portable purification sale to the Victorian government, I looked at the brand and model's manual and found, as written in their manual, keep the windows and doors closed whenever you can while the product is running. Ventilate the air regularly to avoid high concentration of carbon dioxide when you keep the room enclosed for a duration of time. Does that make sense? No, not at all. It also highlights to clean the outer filter through hand washing. Isn't it full of contaminants? And this needs to happen regularly. These are the little things why research is so important. There is also so much contradiction everywhere. New South Wales government websites talk about fresh air being crucial. Did they read the manual for the portable purifiers? This small insight that has been presented supports our concern of the Band-Aid fix and its intended outcomes. When you start to look at testing and design controls from other parts of the world, it is still very confusing. Yet the basics tell us two big things with COVID-19. Removal and dilution of the contamination is key. And second to this, how fresh is our air and could it be better? This is a filter replacement from a northern beach suburb in Sydney after 8 months. Yes, that's what we breathe every day. I hope this gives you a little better understanding of the basics. And as always, we at Air We Care thank you for your time. And even if we can't help you, it may make you think about how healthy your home, workplace, schools, and other places we spend time within are.